So welcome back. So today I want to talk about the first seal that kind of starts from the Revelation 12 sign. You follow Jupiter, man-child, Jesus. You follow that for 30 moon cycles, and it eventually floats on into the rider on a horse. And so I'm going to take you into Stellarium and show you that. But before I do, I just want to read Revelation chapter 6, verses 1 and 2, what it says about the first seal and the rider on the white horse. It says, "And I saw when the Lamb opened one of the seals, and I heard as if it were a noise of thunder, one of the four beasts saying, 'Come and see.' And I saw, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat on him had a bow, and a crown was given unto him, and he went forth conquering and to conquer." That was the King James Version. I just want to read from it's my Greek English interlinear version, and they use the New Revised Standard Version. So I want to read it from that as well. "Then I saw the Lamb open one of the seven seals, and I heard one of the four living creatures call out, as with a voice of thunder, 'Come!' And I looked, and there was a white horse. Its rider had a bow, and a crown was given to him, and he came out conquering and to conquer." So we'll get into Stellarium there, and we'll actually have a look at the transition from Jupiter coming out of Revelation 12 sign, and 30 moons later, it creates the first seal. So I'm going to show you the first seal, but we're going to start back at the Revelation 12 sign, just so I can show you how it leads to the first seal. So we're going to follow Jupiter. Jupiter is the man-child, Jesus, and Jesus would say, "Come, follow me." So we will follow Jupiter as it goes through the heavens. We'll keep it centered here. So Jupiter travels through each constellation. It takes 12 years to traverse all 12 constellations, and each time it enters a constellation, it'll slow down and it'll retrograde, go backwards, and it'll slow down again and resume course. It does that with each constellation that it enters. And it takes 30 moons from the Revelation 12 sign to get to the rider on a horse with a bow. And Jupiter's coming in now into that. So as Jupiter gets over top of the rider on a horse with a bow, the sun comes in, making that rider on the horse very bright white. So this is your white horse with a rider on a horse with a bow. And then we have the moon coming in, and it makes an eclipse here just before midnight on Jerusalem time. I set this for Jerusalem time. So this eclipse happens on the 25th of December in Jerusalem, and then a half an hour later, or an hour later, it would be the 26th, and so the rest of the world would see it on the 26th. So this eclipse, click on it, this is it, December 26th eclipse. It's an annular eclipse, so an annular eclipse means that the moon is not equal size with the sun, is actually smaller than the sun, which leaves the corona of the sun visible, which corona means, in Latin, it means crown. So you have, in a sense, a rider on a white horse with a bow receiving a crown, just like Revelation chapter 6 verses 1 and 2 says. So what else do we have in December? The timeline of COVID-19, first human cases of COVID-19 in December 2019. So you have that. So you have a coronavirus, and there's another nod to the corona, meaning crown. So we have a few indicators here. And Strong Greek's Concordance, it is called a diadem, a crown, a head wreath crown. So we have here the rider on a horse with a bow. It is a white horse. As you can see, if you just back it up one day, it's bright white before the moon comes in. And he's been receiving a crown. Pretty amazing. The odds of this happening, work this out to be in the 1 in 64 million chances. And if the odds of this happening right after the Revelation 12 sign is into the 6 quadrillion, 1 in 6 quadrillion, which is getting pretty insane, like virtually impossible. I'll zoom in here. I wanted to point out that Saturn is here in this constellation. Saturn was the only light in the heavens, roaming light in the heavens, that was not in the Revelation 12 sign, because it was moving into place to be here. Saturn looks like an eyeball, so it was like the witness to this happening. So that is really amazing. So we'll go and we'll talk about this. So that was pretty amazing. The first seal, the sign with the rider on a white horse with a bow and given a crown. Like, that is amazing. The odds of that happening, when I worked it out, I broke down the variables, did the math, multiplied it. It's 1 in 64 million chance of that happening. And the fact that it came off the heels of the Revelation 12 sign, without even doing one loop through the heavens, it just came right from Revelation 12 sign, and 30 moons later, this first seal is created. Just remarkable. And the Revelation 12 sign was close to 100 million odds. And so we put them together, break all the variables down, multiply them. The odds of those two things happening the way they did, it ends up being a 1 in 600 quadrillion. It's a big number. It's a 6 with 15 zeros behind it. And eventually I'll make some more videos. We'll talk about that, make some comparisons of what the odds would be like, just to kind of grasp like a real Earth feeling of what are those odds like. And it's a lot bigger than winning the lottery, I know that. So the couple points I wanted to touch on was, one is that since this sign has happened, this world has not been the same. It's been a different world, totally. It's changed so much, and I don't see it ever going back to normal. I don't see that ever happening. So much has happened, so much has changed. And it was the beginning of something really big. It was really the beginning of something very big. And there's one entity out there that has, since this happened, they have gained a lot of strength, a lot of power. And that is the WHO, the World Health Organization. Since this took place, many countries have basically said, here you go. We'll give you the authority to tell us when to lock down. So that's a lot of power. That's a lot of power that's being given. And the other thing I want to touch on was that now that we know that we're in the end times, we have the knowledge of it. We know that time is short. And so we can go forth and tell other people about it. The Bible talks about there being a great harvest. And actually, since this seal has opened, I have seen that. And I bet you many of you have too. Many people coming back to the Lord, like prodigal sons and prodigal daughters, coming back and rededicating. People are getting tight with Christ again. And it's amazing. See a great divide. And yeah, just been absolutely a remarkable thing to see. It's a horrible thing to live through, but there's some good to it too. And like myself too, I've been in reading my Bible a lot more, and it's been good. So we can, we need to share this with other people, tell people about Jesus, and just let them know that this is urgent. We're living in the last days. So I'll try to get the next video out. The rider on a red horse that's given a sword that takes peace from the earth. So I'll try to get that out as soon as I can. Thank you for popping in. God bless you. I love you guys. And until the next video.